Welcome to TeamKoen Racing. I'm Tim Cohen, and today I'm going to show you how to rebuild the SMC Red Clutch. This is a road racing clutch, 1 3/4 inch axle, and it's actually in pretty good shape. But I got some new parts, and I'm going to show you how I put them in. Today I'm going to build this SMC 4-disc red clutch. It's a very good clutch. Okay, so the first thing you need to do after you've selected your clutch, I have two. I'm going to also rebuild this clutch, which is also a SMC 4-discer. Okay, so you're going to need certain things. Clutch oil. I like the Mobile One, synthetic ATF, HP. You're going to need something to drain the old clutch fluid in. This is just an old container I got, trail mix. And naturally, you're going to need some new parts. But you also need some cleaning utensils. I recommend a glass tray, cleaning tools. All right, so let's open some parts. Get that out of the way. I have new springs. New springs. New floater discs. Got 4 of those. 2 new outside clips. That's these guys here. And the main ingredient, clutch discs. Brand new clutch discs. Part number 2007, axle clutch disc. Okay, so these are the new parts I'm going to install in one of these clutches. Okay, so first thing you need to do after creating some space is to check the fluid. To do that, you need a 1/4 inch Allen key. Goes in here. That's a fill plug. You take out one of the fill plugs. Get yourself a little parts bucket. Keep everything organized. And take the other plug out. I happen to know this particular clutch has just been rebuilt. So the only thing I really need to do is check the fluid. I know I just filled it up, or did I? So anyways, you open up a container like this to hold the fluid. You orient the clutch so you can check the fluid. Okay, so that is brand new fluid. So I'm going to reinsert the plugs. I'm going to check the fluid on this one. Open up the drain plug. Plugs, I should say. Yeah, it's just like me to put my arm right in the way. Okay, this one is probably good to go as well. However, it's the one I want to rebuild, so get yourself a parts bucket. So I'm going to drain this one fully. regardless of how good the fluid is. I wonder where that, oh, there it is. Put it in the bucket. Since this is the clutch I want to put the new parts in, I'm just going to completely drain it. But you want to check the fluid. Oh, that's good fluid too. Okay, once you got the clutch drained of fluid, put it on your surface and start taking it apart. For this, I'll need looks like a 3/16 Allen wrench. Nope, wrong again, Tim. The one below 3/16. Right. Okay, so the next step is to take it apart and see what you got. And if you're smart, you will have something like this, a clutch record to record your information. I just made this. Had to break into my Microsoft account. Okay, so I got a record. Take it apart. Remember I told you about the glass tray? So what you want to do is inspect the parts. Oh, it looks good. I imagined it would because it has been rebuilt. Okay, looking very nice. I have already set discs. But see that disc? Oh boy, it looks good. I have multiple discs here in place of that fourth disc because I only run 3 discs. Oh yeah, this clutch is looking mighty good. Discs are a little burnt. One thing you definitely want to have around a lot of is paper towels, or in this case, shot towels. You put those on the bench and clean it up. You want to clean out the grum on the inside as much as you can. I'll be getting to that later. But here's a trick a lot of people don't seem to know about. So the question is always, how do you get this last disc to come out? It does seem to be glued down. So what you got is a magnet. Pulls that baby right up. And out she comes. I said, out she comes. And that's how it's done. And put it in your glass tray. Await cleaning. And there's the inside of this clutch. Now while you're here, you want to check this retaining ring. Make sure it's not all bent out of shape. Clean as much gunk out as possible. Now these studs eventually loosen up. Right now they're in there pretty tight because I've got the clutch gear on it. Okay, you might be wondering why I left the clutch gear on it, and that's because this is the one I want to run. So what you want to do is check this bearing here. As long as it's not chunky or worn out or in bad shape, you're good to go. In my experience is that these things never wear out. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is measure up your parts and record them. Now you should soak these things down. Nice new looking parts. Let's see. Here's a comparison between a burnt disc and a brand new one. Now, the burnt disc has got a little bit of meat on it, and it probably would have worked, but it never would have yanked out of the corners like I want it to do. Okay, so what you want to do is measure the disc and see what you got. Okay, where's my pencil? Disc 1 we said was coming up at 116. .116. Disc 2 oh, it says 114 there. I'll check the other side. This one's coming up at 117. And disc number 3, we're going to call at 116. Okay, so disc 3 we're going to call 116. Okay, so the discs, the spacers, measure those. And they're usually uniformly the same. Oh, look how nice and clean that is. There's a brand new floater. That's at 52. That's a thick one. That one's at also 52. Also 52 thousandths. Okay, so I got 4 new floaters all at 52 thousandths. So I'll record those and move on to the next set up. Okay, the next thing you'll want to make sure you got done is cleaning it out. It's pretty good, and then you got to inspect it. So, that look good? And you want to look at the seal on this side. If it shows any divots or bad wear marks, you'll want to replace it. But I find that the least aggravation you apply to these things, the longer they last. I think I put that one in there for Daytona 2022, and I haven't run a clutch since. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is clean all the interior parts. Zoom out a little bit. Then basically you just clean everything. Fresh paper towel. I like this stuff. Super clean. It does a swell job of cutting grease without eating rubber. Nevertheless, clean the piss out of things. And to speed things up, I'm going to go into time lapse. Inspect the seal. Oh yeah, looking good. Inspect the snap ring. Looking good. And if you get it just right, the snap ring just barely fits over the seal. If you get the seal pushed in too far or cocked off to the side, you'll have a leak and it'll wear out. So I'm going to pass this one and not change it. Then you're going to check this bearing here. I have never replaced one of these, and I have never seen one go bad. Okay, so once you get your parts all cleaned up, you can move on to reassembly. We'll show you that next.